circle. Then the destination is on your right.
My buddy messaged me and said he saw a lawnmower on the curb right up here, and you know what? If this guy gets the damn thing, I'm gonna be pissed, because I've been trailing him and he's been slow this whole time. Is that it right there? That's it.
The destination is on your right.
Bam.
10304
There it is.
Timberwood Circle.
Right there.
Arrived.
Sure is. Let's check it out. What is it? It's a TROY-BILT. Okay, so we got it home. We can kind of see what it is. It's got a Briggs 3-in-1 21-inch self-propelled. It's got a 675 series Briggs on it, and it looks like, from what I can tell, it looks like they had problems with the self-propel because the screws are off the cover up here. So in all likelihood there's an issue with the self-propel, but we'll get it out maybe tomorrow, figure it out. All right, today we're going to look at this thing. Picked it up a couple nights ago. It's a TROY-BILT model. Where is the model? I don't know. This is going to be one of those that doesn't have it on the top, but it's a 3-in-1 with a 675 Briggs and Stratton on it. Pretty good size engine on this thing, and it has all the bells and whistles. It's got the bagger, and it's got front end drive, self-propulsion. The self-propulsion, I'm a bit skeptical is going to work because we're missing some screws. First of all, the screws are out of the whole plastic housing, and it looks like they've been out for a little while, and the motor has been running since this stopped, because this is melted here, and it's kind of melted up under there too, where it's been against the probably flopping around and flopped up against the hot engine. Like I said, the screws were already out, so all we got to do is pull that off. I guess that's one convenient thing. I want to see if this belt tightens up. I'm assuming it's gonna whenever we hit the bar up there. So I'm going to set you up down here, and when I pull that, I want to see if it works. Alright, so keep an eye right here. This, I think, okay, yeah, this pulls here, and it pulls this whole, rocks this whole mechanism back. So I want to make sure that that tensions that belt up. Otherwise, we're going to have to do something with that. Well, it seems to be tensioning it up somewhat. The other problem I can see, obviously, is that the wheel has seen better days. Look at there. It's actually worn through about halfway around. And this is the wheel that probably drives. Usually, I think it's, I don't know, both front wheels might drive, but this one's part of the drive. So if, you know, if we got drive problems, that might be a problem right there. We've got a pretty badly cracked fuel cap as well. The fuel in it looks and smells pretty good though. It's real clear and clean in there, so I don't think there's going to be any problems with the fuel tank. I have tried to pull start it a couple times, and I'll go ahead and try that again. I could not get anything to happen, so we'll check for spark after this, but I'll show you what it's doing when I try to pull it. So really nothing there at all. So first thing, let's check for spark. Okay, well, the spark plug was barely on there, indicating I think someone's probably been in here before. Oh, another thing that tells me this thing has been worked on before, I just noticed that both of the back wheels are put on backwards, so the inside is on the outside. I don't know why anyone would do that unless they were just smoking crack when they took it apart. But both of those wheels are backwards. Maybe they liked the look of it better. They thought it would look more. It does kind of look more badass in a weird way. Okay, so the plug gap is very, very small. You see the gap there? It looks like maybe it's been pushed in, which could be a really bad sign if the piston was thrown forward further than it's supposed to be. It might have hit that, and that would be bad because that would mean there was a piston problem, something bigger. I wonder if I could see in there at all without. Now I can actually see the valves. It's going to be hard to see them, but I'll show you what I can. Up there I can see one valve is open. See that open valve? And then a little further down, the other valve is closed. So I'm gonna shine my light in there and see if I can see both valves opening and closing in various positions of the pool. So let me pull on it. Okay. Now the top valve is also closed and the bottom valve is closed. And it looks like the piston is near the top dead center position. That should be about top dead center right there. No, piston's on its way back down, so we should see the exhaust valve open at some point here. Okay, and it does. It's open, and the other one is closed, so I don't believe we have any kind of timing issue. So let's go ahead and forward with our spark test now. Put that on there, and is it going to stretch over to? I just need somewhere with no paint. I'm going to pull this top off real quick. It's starting to sprinkle again. We had a bunch of rain earlier today. It really poured here. We had a tarp on top of the chicken coop, and it flooded all that. It filled up. We probably had 1,000 pounds of water on top of the chicken coop, so we pulled all that off of there. It's been a day full, but we do have some eggs from our chickens so far. We've gotten 4 or 5, and one of them had been broken before I could get to it. And I don't know if the chickens had just been curious and just kind of pecking at it or what, but it's kind of concerning. But ooh, what the hell? What happened here? I don't know, whatever that is. Yeah, this lawnmower's definitely been around the block. It's been messed with a little bit by somebody. But really all we're concerned with right now is getting a spark test. Get a clip on the bar. You know what? I think that plug gap is just way too small to work. I'm gonna adjust that plug gap on that spark plug. There's no way that's correct. That's just way too bent out of shape. I'd say probably somebody messing around with it bent that and maybe didn't realize it. I'm gonna bend it out a little bit and just kind of eyeball it with what I think it should be. Now I could get the feeler gauges out and actually measure it and all that. And if this doesn't work, I may do that, but I think that's a little closer to what it's supposed to be. Okay, let's try it again. Nothing, no spark. Let me grab a different spark plug. All right, so I have the exact spark plug. I know this one is good. This is known good. It's tested good in the past. And as you can see, the gap now, where I set it, see how similar they look? So I'm pretty confident that should spark just based on the gap. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit before I try to stick it in though. I always try to clean it up before I stick it in. My wife enjoys that. She says you can't stick it in unless you clean it up. She's throwing shit at me. Earlier today I was in the kitchen and I was fixing the sink and she had some mouse traps under the sink and there were these unusual black looking ones and I was like, hey honey, is this black thing a mouse? And I slammed my hammer against something and made a loud sound and went, ah! It's the first time she's laughed at anything I've done. I can't tell you how long. I can't tell you. Usually I try to make her laugh and she doesn't. And that got her. See all the crap on my hand? Came off of there. Okay, no reason this shouldn't spark, provided the magneto's good. I'll probably feel it if it sparks. Nothing. Before I assume it's probably the magneto, probably stick this plug back in and just crank it with this new plug just to make sure. Sometimes on spark, when you're checking for spark, you know, it's present but you just can't see it because of the lighting. So, but that's probably not it. All right, we'll try this real quick. A couple cranks isn't gonna hurt. Yeah, absolutely nothing. I'm gonna say it's probably the magneto. So let's pop this recoil off. And okay. All right, here's the magneto, and I'm gonna reach in there with some needle nose and grab that kill wire and pull that out, and then we'll maybe try to zip it up again. Okay, that kill is off of there. Okay, I got sparked that time for sure, because it got me. Okay, there's spark there now, so something's definitely wrong with the kill switch. Like I say, it's almost never the spark plug, almost never. Now this spark plug, the gap was wrong, and it definitely could use a little bit of a wire wheel, but it probably still should have worked. It's almost never a spark plug. I mean, it's just in my experience, it isn't, you know, on these engines. I just don't think they take enough abuse to really go bad that quickly before something else does, you know. Okay, you see this right here? This little guy, this little arm that's coming down, that's attached to this wire, which runs up to the magneto. That's the kill switch for the magneto. Ends over here. Right now it's disconnected, so I'm getting a spark. Before I wasn't getting any. But even though this linkage is pulled all the way down, it's doing nothing. So this linkage is it's just barely hanging on, for one thing. Okay, so I moved that linkage a little bit and it's almost there, but not quite. So I need to adjust that. Man, it's almost right. Almost. I'm wondering if man, this is starting to get hot. Man, the sun, God, the sun's blazing at me. Right on me. You know how the sun, in the south, you know, if you live in the south, sun comes out after a storm. You know, it's been raining all day, and then the sun really comes out, and you know, it combines with all that humidity that's already in the air. It gets so hot. It's really quick too. It looks like, I mean, I'm definitely going to be able to get this to run, I think. Now this is not connected, but I do want to go ahead and fix it while I'm under here. Let me see. I mean, this just needs to go about maybe that much further. So really this cable needs to be, you know, about a 1/2 inch shorter, or not a 1/2 inch, maybe even an 1/8 inch. Hell, it might even work where it is now. Yeah, that might even work right there. I'm just gonna kind of check this, and I'll bend this up a little bit. Okay, it's gonna be super hard to film, but watch this little guy right here and see if it clears when I release it. Is it cleared? Any daylight? It's close. Okay, let's look at it again. I think this gets it. Yeah, see, we got clearance there now. You can see it kind of bump up when it hits. There it is. That's going to get it right there. Okay, let's try to crank it up. Tell me down in the comments. Go ahead and pause the video. Tell me if you think, first crank, second crank, third crank. So I've gotten that, I found spark, and I've gotten that magneto to now fire, because again, we had an instance where the kill switch was sort of messed up. So I think we've gotten that sorted. So tell me, first crank, second crank, third crank, or is it going to crank it all? Just hit pause and comment below, and then edit your comment when you watch it and tell me if you were correct. And don't cheat, don't lie. Santa Claus is watching. Okay, so the self-propel is working, but it's not working well. That's why they had the thing removed, and I believe it's probably down to an old belt. It could be a case where this is not working accurately either, where it's supposed to be pushing it further. I think if it was further, what I might try to do is wedge something in here and see if it pulls harder. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to wedge something that's about the right size in here so that this is real nice and taut, and we'll see if it has enough torque to roll these wheels then. And if that is the case, we'll try to adjust this, and if we can't, we'll just order a new belt for it. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that pair of pliers in there, wedged, and we'll see if that's enough torque to make it go. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So we need to do something to mount this a little further out. Like I said, the other alternative would be to replace the belt, but the belt actually looks good. So I think if I can just change the way that that's mounted ever so slightly, I can make what's here work. Okay, so had a little piece of wood. I think it's going to work perfectly, and it's just wedged in here. Now this doesn't have any, believe it or not, there are no mounting bolts mounting this piece, this little transmission to the body of the mower. The only thing mounting it is just friction between the back of the thing and the mower body. That's it. So it's free to just do this if you don't have anything back here. So I put that back here. That's going to get me a lot more mileage out of this belt, which frankly is not worn that bad. It may be stretched, but it's not, it doesn't look bad. I see no reason this shouldn't work. Let me try it one more time, and then we'll take it for a mow. Let's see how it mows. I've got a full tank of gas. Like I said, it was a free full tank of gas. So we say we'll do some mowing out here. All right, so that's going to do it for this thing. Seems like it has plenty of power and it's in good shape overall. The only problem is that really that belt I think is stretched and just needs to be replaced. Other than that, it's good, man. I mean, it even works right now. It's just a little bit slow. There's also an adjust right here where I can tighten it. So we might actually try to tighten it a little bit more. You can see this coming out the more I tighten it, and that should help out with that. Actually, I want to try that. So tighten that up a little bit. And hell, that could have been the problem all along. Somebody might have just screwed with it and messed it up. yeah, maybe it helped a little, but it didn't help that much. It actually, there's a point at which it just kind of bottlenecks. It's or diminishing returns, I mean to say. But yeah, overall good shape. We get the front piece back on, change the wheels around, and get this thing listed, man. It's got plenty of power, runs great, mows great. Like I said, it goes a little bit slower than I would like, but other than that, you know, there's nothing to complain about here. Wait a second. Was this? I think this thing is manufactured backwards. Look. See this? What is the bearing? That's okay. That's weird. The spot for the bearing appears to be on this side. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's definitely the way it's supposed to go, but the thing is, if you look behind here, there's a spacer that doesn't appear to belong to this mower, and then there's a wheel bearing that's kind of acting as a spacer, but see how it just moves freely? It's not even attached to the wheel like you would expect a bearing to be. So I don't know what the hell's up with that, but I'm gonna go and just switch them around. It appears to be fine rolling like this. I might take it back off and put a little bit more grease on it, but that's definitely the way it's supposed to go. I just think the spacers are wrong. Well, now that made the front one look dirtier. I'll get a brush after it and clean it up a little better than that. But anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit subscribe. And for now, we'll see y'all later.